Learn English through stories. U44 answers. PDF. Adapted and modified by Kulwant Singh Sandhu. Contents. Vocabulary. 11 tests. Answers. 1. Find 15 common collocations or fixed phrases by completing each space in the text with an appropriate word from the box. I guess I was what one might call a spoiled child, for I was the only child of Mary and David Bettleman, and I got whatever I wanted. I had a rather weak-minded mother, and by contrast, a very domineering father who had exceedingly high expectations of me, expectations that I could not live up to. You see, my father was quite an eminent lawyer and wanted nothing more than for me to follow in his footsteps. He encouraged me to win at everything and to be ultra-competitive. He just couldn't see that he was being far too pushy and putting too much pressure on me. He simply thought that he was acting in my best interests. Not surprisingly, perhaps, I rebelled against my upbringing by becoming thoroughly apathetic at school. As soon as I turned 18, I struck out on my own and went off on a trip to India. It was there that I met Ingrid, a fellow traveler. It became clear that we came from very similar backgrounds. She too was running away from something. In her case, a very sheltered upbringing, caused by having two very overprotective parents. We hit it off immediately, and I plucked up courage and asked her to be my girlfriend. But I was young and I needed space, and I guess I was too immature to handle the give and take of a relationship. Or perhaps I was just afraid of commitment. Anyway, we went through a very bad patch and had a trial separation for a couple of months. 2. Underline the most suitable word in each sentence. As I am officially an alien, I have to register with the police. B. Let me introduce you to my fiancé. We're getting married next month. C. Jim is just an acquaintance I met on holiday. D. Why not bring your child along to the mothers and toddlers group? It's for 1- and 2-year-olds. E. Local people are campaigning for better facilities for the aged. F. Our ancestors are all buried in the local churchyard. G. Peter is 50 and unmarried, and his friends call him an eligible bachelor. H. The bridegroom was handed the ring by the assistant best man. I. When I was a lad, I used to walk 10 miles to school. J. We call her Auntie Flo, though she is not really any relation to us. 3. Complete each sentence with the most appropriate word from the box. A. Sharon works very hard and is extremely conscientious. B. David does everything alone. He is a rather solitary person. C. What a lovely couple. They seem totally devoted to one another. D. Jim has extreme views and is prejudiced against all immigrants. E. Very few students wanted to join in the activities. They seemed rather apathetic. F. Simon is always getting into fights. He's so aggressive. G. Jane may look rather young, but she has a very mature attitude. H. Colin is a good teacher and very attentive to the needs of the students. I. Bill is shy, but his brother Mike is more extrovert. J. Mary doesn't realize how she hurts people. She is really insensitive. 4. Match each expression AJ with one of the explanations 1 to 10. A. Nearest and dearest. 7. A person or people from your immediate family. B. Newlyweds. 2 people who have only recently been, or are still, on their honeymoon. C. The nuclear family. 10 parents and their children. D. Adult. 8. People who are no longer teenagers. E. A community. 6. All the people living together in the same area. F. A generation. 3. All the people of approximately the same age. G. Contemporaries. 1. People who are alive at the same time or, for example, attend the same school. H. The extended family. 5. The entire range of relatives in one family. I. A household. 4. The people in a family who live together under the same roof. J. Outcasts. 9. People abandoned by their families or by society in general. 5. Complete each sentence with the most appropriate word from the box. A. Keith's parents neglected him badly when he was a baby. B. The small child was being scolded by its mother for getting dirty. C. Tom deeply offended Anne by ignoring her at the party. D. David is not my real father. I was adopted by him when I was small. E. Ian and Fiona are separated and they may get divorced. F. I quarreled with my boyfriend but we made it up in the end. G. Jack retired on his 65th birthday and received his pension. H. My parents criticized me for having a ring in my nose. I. Julie's mother abandoned her when she was a few months old, and she grew up in an orphanage. J. My boss utterly humiliated me in front of important clients, so I resigned. 6. Replace the words underlined with the most appropriate phrase from the box. A. When Brian asked her to marry him and turned him down. B. I kept in touch with most of my old friends. C. And grew up in London. D. David and Jean went out together for 3 months before they got engaged. E. Kate fell out with her boyfriend and they stopped seeing each other. F. Helen had got on well with her in-laws. G. Harry ran away from home. H. Sophia promised to meet Michael after work but let him down. I. After a few weeks I moved in with some friends. J. I got to know Pam when we worked together. 7. Complete the spaces by finding one word which fits in all 3 sentences. Barry was a very complicated individual who easily took offense. I took to the job immediately and felt like I'd been doing it all my life. After 36 days of fighting, the invading forces finally took the city. B. After quarreling with David, Martina was close to tears. It was a close call, but I think Loopers just won it from Collins in second place. In such sweltering heat, it was unbearably close and humid on the underground. C. Jane's father shook with rage when she told him she was pregnant. Events in oil-producing countries shook the confidence of investors. The lion shook its magnificent mane and gave an almighty roar. D. John and Mary met at university, and they've been going steady for almost 5 years. Steady on? Is that really what you want you to do? There has been a steady decline in the number of male applicants. E. I just can't imagine my dad leading me down the aisle in church to get married, said Maggie. Michael Schumacher is currently leading the Drivers' Championship. She emerged from the stable leading a beautiful black horse. 8. Match the beginning of each idiom on the left with its ending on the right. 1. A can of worms. 2. The acid test. 3. A vicious circle. 4. In a nutshell. 5. On the other hand. 6. The other side of the coin. 7. Tie yourself up in knots. 8. Go round in circles. 9. Be called to account. 10. Won't give an inch. 9. What are the situations describing? Match an idiom from the box with each situation. 1. Trying out a new invention for the first time, the acid test. 2. Trying to explain something complex that you do not really understand, tying yourself up in knots. 3. The advantages and disadvantages of moving to a different town, the pros and cons of a situation. 4. Explaining a complicated situation in 2 minutes, putting it in a nutshell. 5. Trying to reach agreement when neither side is prepared to modify its position, going round in circles. 6. Getting rid of some books so you have space on your bookshelves, then buying more books because you now have space, so you now need to get rid of more books to clear a bit more space, a vicious circle. 10. Complete each sentence with an idiom from the box. 1. In some ways it's glamorous being a pop star. But the other side of the coin is that you no longer have any privacy. 2. It's time these petty criminals were called to account for their irresponsible actions. 3. I know Bill's a nice friendly person, but be that as it may, he still has to pull his weight in the office. 4. On the one hand, I think Jana might have the best personality for the job, but on the other, Mina has more experience. 5. If he's apologized, I think you should give him the benefit of the doubt. 6. It would be opening a can of worms to inquire about his finances. 11. Rewrite the underlined part of each sentence with an idiom. 1. I tied myself up in knots trying to explain to Carl how I felt about him. 2. I'd like you to write an essay on the pros and cons of working abroad. 3. To put it in a nutshell, James needs to produce better homework. 4. Natasha was prepared to compromise, but Alex wouldn't give an inch. 5. You need more money so you work more. You earn more so you spend more. So you need to work more. It's a vicious circle.